hurry!
Time to get the sewer hose.
Get the chocks! Get the chocks! I'll get Kayla!
We are at Grayton Beach State Park in Santa Rosa, Florida.
And this is a campground review. Make sure you stay to the end to find out about the Google reviews. Can we confirm them or bust them? General impressions.
This is a quiet campground with small loop roads and mostly private sites.
Do you mean that the loops are small or the roads are small?
Yes, I do. Both.
Both.
This is a small campground with 68 sites on the 2 loops. The roads are a bit narrow, so they're hard to navigate with the big rigs. Some of the branches also are encroaching on both the roads and the campsites, making it fairly difficult to find both the site and to navigate the roads.
We stayed in campsite number 39. It was a gravel back in. It was mostly level. It needed a little bit of leveling. It did have full hookups, including 50 and 30 amps, so hashtag 50, and it had a sewer, which was really nice for a state park.
The downside about the sewer was that it was at the back of the site, and as far as we could tell, that seemed to be the same way at every campsite. Now, we didn't want to be peeping toms like from our vlog. Check out our vlog for that, but it did appear that you might need to bring an extra sewer hose pretty much no matter which site you're in, because the sewer is way over there somewhere, and as you can tell, that's not really where you want to put your rig.
Yeah, the utilities were about, I would say about 20 feet away from the sewer.
Yeah.
The rest of the utilities. So you're either going to be stretching your extension cords and your hoses, you know, or you're going to be stretching your sewer hose, or both. They do have a picnic table and a fire ring with a laver grill attachment. They do not have propane refill at this campground. There is one, the closest one I could find was Taking Care of Business. It's a U-Haul place, which is about 7 miles away. They also do have a dump station if you need one. I'm not sure why you would need one since they have sewer at the site. However, it's really not conveniently located. As we said before, there are 2 loops. Both roads are one way, and it's in the back loop, so you have to go all the way around the back loop, and it's almost back to the beginning of it. Then to get out, you have to go all the way around the other loop just to get back to the entrance of the park.
And the dump station seemed to be flooded when we were here. There is no Wi-Fi at this campground, which isn't a huge surprise considering it's a state park. Your Verizon and your Starlink, though, will be good enough for streaming here, as long as you get the right campsite. Some of them, you know, they have some overhangs.
The noise level at this campground is mostly quiet. There is some construction going on at the bridge, which is just across the lagoon, so sometimes during the daytime you can hear a bit of that construction. As far as stargazing though, this county works really hard to keep it dark at night for the wildlife, so as long as it doesn't have a lot of overhang from the trees, you're going to get a great opportunity to do some stargazing.
Amenities.
Each one of the loops had their own bathhouse, and the bathhouses do have toilets and showers. They also have laundry stations with washer and dryer for $2 for each cycle.
One of the bathhouses also had a water refill station, a water bottle refill station, which is super bougie for a state park campground. And it even had a lending library, which was really awesome.
They also had a laundry sink as well. I forgot to mention that.
One of the bathhouses was kind of hidden in between. It's like it's a big loop over in this area over here, and the bathhouse is kind of hidden in the center, so you have to go down a trail to find it. It's like a treasure hunt for a bathroom.
But it does open up once you get back there.
Yeah.
Dog friendliness.
There is no off-leash dog areas in this campground. There are 2 pickup stations that are
fully stocked. That's the
most
most important part.
Yeah. One of them did drop out of stock when we were here, but they refilled it. That's nice. Yeah. There are, however, no trash cans in the dog pickup station, so you have to take your doggy deposits all the way to the front of the park where the dumpsters are. The other thing about this place is that you can't take your dogs on the beach, which is probably a good thing because there are gators in the water.
Hey Mike, do you know how you can tell if the water has gators in it when you're in Florida?
How can you tell, Amy?
If it's wet. One other thing to keep in mind at this campground is that they do have stickers in the sand, so you're going to want to make sure that you keep your dogs out of the sand or make sure they wear boots. Gonna get stickers in your feet.
Camp store.
There is no camp store at this campground. There is a Grayton General Store, which is about a mile away. Also, there's a Publix about 5 minutes drive away and a Walmart about 15 minutes drive away. It's one of the marketplace Walmarts, not the super Walmart though.
Huh.
The Amazon locker closest to this campground is UPS store on US Highway 98 in Santa Rosa Beach. It is right next to the Publix.
Camp staff interactions.
The camp staff on check-in were very dismissive of our concerns about trying to navigate through the very tight front gate lane. I was told we've had bigger rigs than yours come through just fine.
There was even those silly white traffic posts that were glued down to the road as they were coming in, blocking the way, so you couldn't make a wide turn. Really completely unnecessary. And they also had, one of them were missing because people had run over it multiple times and broke it off.
And then they also had posts on the other side roping off the sandy area so you wouldn't run off, go over the shoulder as well. So clearly we were not the first people that had had difficulty navigating through that tight space.
We did ask them if they could raise the exit gate for us so that we could go through the exit gate, which was a straight shot. And they said, I quote, "They couldn't possibly," end quote.
Yeah, this was our only interaction with them, and quite frankly, it did not make a great first impression.
Definitely not.
Yeah, it was not one of the best moments.
Thankfully, the reservation process is online and user-friendly, which is nice. You don't have to necessarily deal with the camp staff.
Additional information.
The website does say that their maximum vehicle length is 40 feet. However, I kind of question that given that we're 39 feet and we had a lot of problems getting in here, both with the narrow roads, tight turns, overhanging trees, and loop-de-loos, definitely the loop-de-loos, the traffic poles, the
one-way roads.
Yeah, the metal green poles that were in the sand on the drop-off coming in, all the things. We even had an RV motorhome. We heard him crunching his way into his campsite. People were trying to stop him, but he seemed determined, so...
He made his own campsite.
Yep. But let's just say the loop by the water is got some very low-hanging campsites, and I would stay away from that if you have a tall rig, or you want to use your Starlink.
I would suggest looking at Google from the satellite view and try to pick your campsite that way, because a lot of times that's one of the things we'll do to see how open the site is. So it just gives you a good idea when it helps you to pick your sites.
We picked this site because it looked like it was good from Google Earth. It was a little deceptive though because of the way the roads are angled and
Google
the
Earth
directions.
doesn't tell you that.
Yeah, we got this site because we thought we'd just be able to pull around back right in. No, we didn't. We couldn't. Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
Well,
just
it wasn't that. See our vlog. I'm sure we'll put it in there. We're in here though. There we are.
We made it. The cost for this campground was $30 per night, plus a $7 utility fee, plus a $6.70 reservation fee.
You know how much Amy likes those pluses.
Plus the taxes on top of all those fees. So the total cost per night is $48.14. And if you've watched any of our campground reviews, you know how much I love the fees. They're junk fees. I really hate the junk fees. Call a spade a spade. It's $48 a night. It's still a decent value for what you're getting. I just wish that they would get rid of all of the fluff fees and that you would actually see the cost, the actual cost for the campsite when you're making a one-night reservation. Because if you're just staying one night, it's $48.
Not just that, the cost of living out here must be insanity level, because we went out and ate a couple of times, and let's just say it costs more than the campground to eat twice for 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very expensive by comparison to some of the other places we've been. That was one of the things I wanted to mention too, because we don't like spending a lot of money just for, you know, the cost of living or eating places. We want to spend it on adventures, and I would say the cost of food here is at least 25 to 50% higher than some of the places we've been. It was expensive. Just for 2 cheeseburgers, 1 fry, and 1 soda was over $54 today.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot. I think that's, well, I think that's a lot. If you think that's a lot, let me know in the comments. Let me know I'm not insane. It just feels like Disney prices.
Yeah. Well, and dinner the night before, we went to I would call it a bar. It had tables, so it could be considered a restaurant, but it was really a bar, and it was over $100 for 2 people.
Yeah.
And the food was okay.
We didn't have like the most expensive thing on the menu. We had like middle of the road, like I had popcorn shrimp and you had Korean barbecue and 2 drinks. You know, it wasn't like we were eating filet mignon or lobster.
The seafood boil was for 2 people was $110. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so expect to spend more than, like, even when we were also just at the it'll probably publish first, but we were just at Panama City, which is about 30 minutes down the road. That's why I'm pointing that way. It's about 30 minutes down the road. We're talking about, like, compared to that, like it's 25 to 50% more compared to that, and that I think is what's surprising us so much, because the cost is just so much more here.
Yeah, totes.
It definitely has that villa by the sea kind of feel to it, and you pay that price. Now we're going to move on to the Google reviews. We're going to see if we can confirm or bust them. But before we get to that, if you've gotten to this point in the video, please consider giving us that thumbs up button. It really helps our channel out. It helps us continue to grow. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, consider hitting that bell notification and subscribe to our channel. It's free, and it makes sure you don't miss another video.
Ding, ding.
Ding. Dink.
Ding. You know.
Adventures After 50 writes, we were really excited about staying at Grayton Beach, but it was not a very good experience. The campsites are small, which we knew they would be, but we thought we'd have more room for our vehicles. Our campsite number 34 flooded when it rained, and we had water up to our ankles. This site should not have even been available for camping. The bathhouse is only cleaned once a day. I believe there must be a problem with the electric service, because our door would shock us sometimes. The beach is beautiful. We camped at Grayton Beach in a travel trailer. 1 star.
We weren't shocked by the door, but we were shocked by the roads flooding. Now, this campsite in particular didn't flood, but we weren't here in the rainy season.
However, a lot of the campground did flood. The roads got sloppy, messy, and muddy. So we're going to call this probable.
Melissa S. writes, we loved the campground. However, when it was time to check out, we were only 3 minutes late, and the lady at the front office was extremely rude. Not just to me, but to my family as well. I understand we're in the wrong, but there's no need in being ugly about it. She could have handled it in a better way, and I don't appreciate being treated that way. Maybe you should look into hiring new staff. Thanks. 1 star. We're not sure if they dealt with the same camp staff as us, but we had a very similar experience.
Yeah, I definitely felt like they could have handled it better. So we're going to call this one confirmed. Keith writes, this place is awesome. However, watch them bum rush at least 25 people plus out of this, starting an hour and 10 minutes before their listed closing. Great place, but don't count in their listed closing time, as it's their typical practice.
Wait, what time is it? What time is checkout?
Gosh, it's in 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
We better get our skates on. Oh my gosh. Hurry. Come on.
To get the sewer hose.
Get the chocks. Get the chocks. I'll get Kayla busted.
Travel for You has an interesting icon and says there is no beach on the park and is about 7 minutes to town and beach. I would not come back here ever again or even talk about. Those YouTubers who say Ree Park is all that and the best you ever seen. Did you really come here? This park does not rock my world. After a 6-hour drive, I'm ready to get the heck out of here. He didn't say heck. 1 star!
Well, you're a YouTuber, Mike. So is this the best you've ever seen?
No.
But is it all that? Does it rock your world?
No.
Confirmed.
But we are YouTubers. I mean, he disagreed with YouTubers. We disagree with his disagree.
With YouTubers?
Yeah, about the YouTubers.
Well, only if he's disagreeing with us.
Maybe he should watch our campground reviews.
He should review our campground review and see if he agrees or disagrees. Wait. Okay. We have fun. We have fun, folks.
Oh yeah.
Now we're going to move on to the part we call Love It or Hate It. We're going to talk about the things we liked and disliked about the campground. We'll start off with the negative and then we'll finish up with the positive. So Mike, what was your least favorite part of staying at this campground?
I think most of the viewers have guessed it already. It is literally everything to do with getting your rig right there. Because including the camp hosts, I'm including them in it. It is
that was the last of the things you mentioned. You mentioned the park, the park setup, the roads, the navigation,
the overhangs,
the narrow one-way roads, the loop-de-loos.
Yep.
And the camp hosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just weren't very helpful.
No, I don't. Yeah. No.
Okay.
I don't want to pull our rig into here anymore. Maybe, but no. Not with our 40-foot rig.
Well, mine is going to shock and awe the audience.
Shocker.
It's the fees. You saw it coming. I mean, come on. If you saw it coming, let me know in the comments. You knew that was coming with the utility fee and the reservation fee and then being taxed on the fees. You knew that was coming.
I thought it might have been the dry, tasteless burger.
That's not a 1-star review for here. That's a 1-star review for the place we ate.
It went dry.
It would have been
the dry.
It would have been the $17 dry tasteless burger.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The $17 dry tasteless burger.
All right, let's leave all that behind us and move on to the things we loved about this campground. What was your favorite part?
It's quiet.
It is pretty quiet. I'll give you that. Mine was the fact that it was bikeable. I love having opportunities to get out on our bikes and to go into town, do things on our bikes. The only sad part, and this was a hard part for us about being at the campground when we were, was that there was snow for half the time that we were at this campground. So there was no biking for the first, like this was the last day we were here, and this is the only day we really could go out and bike. But it's a short bike into town. They've got a cute little center of town where they've got like market on Saturdays and Airstream food trucks. Yeah. Food's terribly expensive, but it's cute. Farmers market right across from the beach. There's also some places to see in town and things like that. So that would be my favorite part of this campground.
Yeah. Maybe Amy will put the picture of the beautiful white sand beaches up here. Wait a minute, that's not sand.
So if you like this campground review and you'd like to see others like it, please check out our campground playlist. We've covered all the places we love and hate. And if you want to check out what adventures we got into while we were here, check out our vlog. Up here, click it, click it, click it.